Hello lovely viewers, welcome back to Perry Einstein channel. We'll be exploring the stories of 5 rappers who struggled with drug addiction. In this video, we'll dive into the highs and lows of their journeys, from the early days of experimentation to the rock bottom moments. Lil Peep was born on November 1, 1996, in Allentown, Pennsylvania, as Gustav Elijah Ahr. He spent his childhood in Long Island, New York, where he lived with his Harvard graduate parents and older brother. Despite making good grades, Lil Peep eventually dropped out of public high school and instead took online courses to earn his diploma. Lil Peep's musical career took off after sharing his music on SoundCloud and YouTube platforms. At the age of 18, Lil Peep left Long Island for Los Angeles to pursue a professional career in music and establish himself in the industry. Dubbed his generation's Kurt Cobain by Rolling Stone magazine, Lil Peep's music was comparably emotional and gloomy. Many of his songs were about mental illness, drug use, and relationship woes, making him relatable and popular among teens struggling with similar issues. Unfortunately, Lil Peep's success as a musical artist was at its peak when he passed away. Lil Peep spoke openly about his struggles with depression and bipolar disorder, which drove his drug use and influenced his music. In addition to being open about suffering from mental illnesses, Lil Peep was equally as open about his drug use and addiction. His lyrics and social media posts frequently mentioned the substances he struggled with, which were Xanax, marijuana, cocaine, and alcohol. He was also known to use psilocybin mushrooms, cigarettes, and opioids including fentanyl. Music industry executives informed Lil Peep they would not judge or chastise him for using drugs but warned he would likely not reach his full potential as a music artist if he continued down that path. Lil Peep never sought treatment at a drug rehab center and continued using drugs regularly until he died. Lil Peep died of a drug overdose on November 15, 2017, just days after his 21st birthday, while on tour in Tucson, Arizona. The toxicology report showed he had died of an accidental fentanyl Xanax overdose. Earlier that evening, Lil Peep had laid down around 5:45 p.m. to take a nap before that night's performance. His manager had checked on him twice after that and reported that Lil Peep had been breathing but was unresponsive. 3 hours later, at 8:45 p.m., Lil Peep's manager checked on him a third time and found that the artist had stopped breathing. At that point, his manager contacted emergency services and performed CPR, but medics pronounced Lil Peep dead upon arriving at the scene. Juice WRLD, Jared Anthony Higgins, popularly known as Juice WRLD, had just gotten off a private flight from LA when he suffered a seizure in the Chicago Midway airport days after his 21st birthday. He was transported to the hospital and later pronounced dead in the early morning hours of December 8, 2019. The preliminary autopsy report was inconclusive, and the toxicology, histology, pathology and other reports are needed to find the cause of his death. However, it was suspected to be drugs. According to the Chicago police, federal agents met Juice WRLD's private plane as it arrived to the airport. They had received a tip-off from the pilot that there were illegal drugs and guns on board. Upon arrival, they had plans to search the plane. The police seized multiple bags of marijuana, multiple bottles of prescription codeine cough syrup, along with 3 guns and the bullets to go with them. Before the search, allegedly, Juice WRLD was seen swallowing several Percocet pills, a prescription painkiller which other sources confirm he had been using and addicted to. They believe this was in an attempt to hide the pills from the authorities. As many fans already know, Juice WRLD struggled with substance addiction for some time. In fact, he was very open about it. In interviews and in his lyrics, Juice talked candidly about his misuse of Percocets and of lean, a codeine cough syrup. That has risen in popularity among rap artists. Juice's song, Lean With Me, was specifically about it and his struggles with drug cravings. The music video made a statement, as well as an effort to reach others struggling with drug addiction. Help is available. Addiction is hard, it is dangerous, and it is scary. But you don't have to solve it alone. In a statement to TMZ, Juice WRLD's family explained that his music was not designed to promote drug abuse. Instead, it was designed to help those battling addiction who may have felt alone in their fight. Despite his rise to fame, Juice often felt alone himself. His music embodied a certain sadness. It often talked about his use of drugs to self-medicate bad feelings. Juice WRLD struggled with addiction, but also with anxiety and depression, loneliness and detachment. In a live video to his fans, he assured that even with all the money, he goes through the same mental health struggles. In his music, he implies that drugs are his primary coping mechanism, which is common among drug users today. After Juice WRLD's death in early December, his mother, Carmela Wallace, made a statement to TMZ. Despite there being no confirmation of an overdose, she immediately illuminated his struggle with prescription drug abuse. She said, "We love Jared with all of our hearts and cannot believe our time with him has been cut short." Juice WRLD addictions was so serious to the extent that his mother asked him to seek help. As he often addressed in his music and to his fans, Jared battled with prescription drug dependency. Addiction knows no boundaries and its impact goes way beyond the person fighting it. Jared was a son, brother, grandson, friend and so much more to so many people who wanted more than anything to see him defeat addiction. She continued, "We hope the conversations he started in his music and his legacy will help others win their battles, as that is what he wanted more than anything." While Juice WRLD had just landed on ground at the time of his death, his career was really just taking off. According to SoundCloud, Juice WRLD was the most streamed, liked, and reposted artist of 2018. In less than 2 years, he reached the Billboard Hot 100 chart 25 times with songs like Lucid Dreams, Legends, and many more. Juice WRLD constantly talked about detoxing, getting healthy, wanting to stop. He wanted to be the best person for his girlfriend, for his family, and for his fans. However, his time was cut short. As his mother said, addiction knows no boundaries. It can affect anyone, and so can overdose. Any drug user has the ability to overdose on drugs. One too many pills, dangerous drug combinations, and even unknowingly laced drugs, have the power to be fatal. If your loved one is using drugs, it is important to make it stop. It's never too early to seek help for a drug addiction, but it can be too late. To learn about Turnbridge's young adult drug treatment programs, please do not hesitate to reach out. We have prescription drug abuse and dual diagnosis programs tailored to young men and women. We are here. Diego Llanos, famously known as Lil Xan, emerged onto the hip-hop scene in the mid-2010s with a unique sound and a rapidly growing fanbase. His journey, however, was marked by his strong relationship with drugs that garnered as much attention as his music. Lil Xan began using drugs, particularly Xanax, at a young age, around 12 or 13 years old. He has said that he was introduced to drugs by his peers and initially used them to cope with anxiety and depression. He admitted in interviews that he initially experimented with substances like Xanax, which eventually earned him his stage name. As he navigated the challenges of early fame, drugs became both a coping mechanism and a part of his personality. Despite his rising popularity, Lil Xan's drug use spiraled out of control. He publicly battled addiction, and his struggles often played out in the spotlight, overshadowing his music career. His drug use escalated over time, and he eventually became addicted to opioids, including Xanax and hydrocodone. He has said that he was taking up to 20 Xanax pills per day from the street dealers at the height of his addiction. "It was really bad. I was taking enough benzos to take down an elephant," he recalled. The lifestyle he found himself in was a double-edged sword, providing an escape from pressures while simultaneously threatening to derail his promising future. He recalled, "I looked in the mirror and I'm like, it was just that moment, like, if I keep doing this, I'm gonna die soon. So I just quit, cold turkey. And I actually ended up having a few seizures. And I landed in the hospital." In 2018, these incidents served as a wake-up call for him to give up on drugs. Lil Xan made the decision to turn his life around. The catalyst for change was a mix of personal reflection and the realization of the destructive path he was on. He publicly announced his decision to quit drugs, which was met with both skepticism and support from fans and his loved ones in the industry. Lil Xan has been open about his journey to recovery, saying that he has been sober since December 2018 and the importance of mental health. His music has also evolved, reflecting a newfound clarity and maturity in his lyrics. He has also encouraged others to seek help. Lil Pump, the flamboyant and controversial rapper, rose to fame quickly with his catchy songs and vibrant personality. However, behind the glitz and glamour, his journey into drug addiction provides a sobering insight into the pressures and pitfalls of fame at a young age. Born Gazi Garcia in 2000, Pump's early exposure to the rap scene in Miami introduced him to a culture where substance use is often normalized. He started using drugs at a young age, around 13 years old. As his fame grew with hits like Gucci Gang, so did his experimentation with drugs. Pump openly rapped about drugs like Xanax and lean, which became recurring themes in his music. He has said that he used drugs to cope with stress, anxiety, and the pressures of fame. As his music career took off, Lil Pump's drug use escalated, and he became known for his reckless and party-centric lifestyle. However, his addiction took a toll on his health and career. He has said that he would often use drugs to get high and to escape the reality of his situation. As he gained millions of followers on social media and faced increasing demands for performances and appearances, drugs may have seemed like a coping mechanism. In 2017, he made a Xanax-shaped cake to celebrate reaching 1 million followers on Instagram. His public antics, including live-streamed drug use and erratic behavior, garnered both attention and concern. Fans and critics alike observed a young artist spiraling into self-destructive patterns. Despite occasional claims of quitting or going sober, Pump's struggles with addiction remained evident through his social media presence and sporadic legal issues. In 2019, Lil Pump's drug use led to a series of incidents, including an arrest for driving under the influence, a near-fatal overdose, and the tragic death of Juice WRLD also had impact on him. He even performed a cover of Juice WRLD's 2018 mega-hit song, Lucid Dreams, as a tribute. These incidents served as a wake-up call for him, and he realized that he needed help. He checked himself into rehab and began the journey to recovery. In 2020, Pump took to his Instagram stories to proclaim he was done with drugs. "Yo guys, I'm making an announcement," he said. "I don't sip no more lean at all. I don't do no more drugs." That year, Pump swore off Xanax and was determined to drop the habit. With the support of his loved ones and his fans, Lil Pump was able to overcome his addiction. He has been open about his recovery process, saying that it was not easy but was worth it. He has used his platform to raise awareness about the dangers of drug addiction and to encourage others to seek help. Well, now he's finally cleaned himself up. Lil Pump has turned his life around. The 24-year-old former chart-topping rapper finally quit drugs. And he looks much better now. He has said that he is now more focused and more grateful for life. Trippie Redd, as his name suggests, a connection to drugs, and indeed, he was fond of them. Lil Peep's death had a profound impact on the SoundCloud rap community, but Juice WRLD's death was even more devastating, serving as a wake-up call to all rappers. Following this, Trippie made a tweet on his X handle. He stated, "All that lean and pills NIAZ glorify and talk about. You teaching the kids to do it. Shaking my head, you happy now? Rip Juice WRLD. Gone too soon." The aftermath of Juice WRLD's tragic passing, Trippie Redd has been inspired to give up drugs. He said on his Instagram Live, "We ain't weed, we ain't doing it no more, period." Trippie continued to clarify who we is. "When I say we, I mean us, as a group. The whole emo music artists. No drugs." The rapper, who recently dropped his album, A Love Letter to You 4, went on to admit he doesn't use the drugs he raps about. Trippie is among the few artists in the music industry who have spoken against other artists who glorify drug use. He stated, "We look up to all these bigger artists, all these grown-ass men, and all they do is talk about poppin' pills and sippin' codeine and all that SHT. It's music. Niggas know what they get theyself into, but at the same time, it's like, we gotta be the strongest people to be like, okay, niggas is just using this for rhymes at this point," he continued in the video. "Let it just be that, you feel me? I'll be the first to say, I ain't sippin' no lean, I ain't poppin' no pills. But I'ma still talk about it in music, maybe. Today, we explored the stories of 5 rappers who struggled with drug addiction: Lil Peep, Juice WRLD, Lil Pump, Lil Xan and Trippie Redd. Their journeys serve as a stark reminder of the dangers of substance abuse and the pressures of fame. From Xanax to lean, these rappers' struggles with addiction led them down a dark path, threatening to destroy their careers, relationships, and even killed some. But amidst the struggles, there's hope. Some of these rappers have found sobriety, using their platforms to raise awareness and inspire others to seek help. Their stories teach us that addiction can affect anyone, regardless of wealth, fame, or success. But with support, determination, and the right resources, recovery is possible. Thanks for watching. Don't forget like, subscribe and let's keep the conversation going in the comments below.